And it's another week, starting off the month, very busy days ahead. All right, so make sure, grab a popcorn, grab a juice, a soft drink, or whatever you want to drink, sit down, relax, give us a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the channel, and be ready, okay? Because what do you actually, I'm all suited up today. Things got important, guys. Things got important, and I'm here to talk to you about what's gonna be important for this week. All right? Sit down, relax. Again, we're gonna start it. 3, 2, 1, rolling. Just joking, guys. How is everyone? How everyone had a good weekend? Was it good? I hope everyone could chill out after a PCE coming as expected last Friday. On Thursday we had the webinar, and I've mentioned that most probably we would have a GDP lower because the Fed has mentioned that on quarter 2 last year that we would have a lower GDP quarter 4 for 2023. Indeed, we had. And as well as an expected PCE. This leads with expected PCE leads with us as market thinking that inflation will come to reduce. Okay, if inflation reduces, then the Fed has a possibility to cut early than June. So this is why the US dollar lost strength. Okay, but most of the consumption gain from the PCE was about government spending as well. I'm gonna make a video maybe tomorrow or so diving into those data points, all right? But for today, we're gonna be looking at the week ahead. As usual, we do every Monday. So get your notebook, get your pen, and get ready to note down what's gonna be important for this week. I'm gonna tell you already, it's gonna be a full-packed data approach week, all right? So let's start it for Monday. We did had the building approvals, business inventories, and company gross operations for Australia. Pretty equilibrated data coming from there, right? We're still gonna have the CPI for Switzerland, right? For Swiss, and the Spanish unemployment change tonight at 6:30 respectively, and 7 o'clock for Spanish unemployment. On Tuesday, we're gonna have at 3 a.m. in the morning. Again, I'm just gonna make it sure so everyone knows what time frames are those. It's on Australia, Sydney, okay? So make sure to, every time I say here, put on your time zone. So it's gonna be FOMC member Hawking, as well as services PMI tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Australia, okay? We're gonna have Tokyo core CPI. Guys, pay attention to that, because as we are looking at Japanese yen, it's pretty volatile at the moment, right? Lots of impact last week on the CPI that we had from Japan. Even though it was only 0.1% higher than expected, it generated a huge impact on the Japanese yen. All right, so pay attention on Tokyo's core CPI. We're gonna have as well current account for Australia, services PMI for Japan, Caixin services PMI for China, Spanish services PMI, Italian services, French, German, as well as the whole Europe services PMI and the S&P Global Composed PMI. Then we're going to have services composed PMI again for UK and global dairy trade prices from New Zealand. So pretty important on Europe, all right? So there is a lot of volatility to come to Euro this week, as well as for pound already at the start of the week, all right? I'm telling you, it's going to be a week full of actions in the market. So lots of opportunities, plenty of good opportunities pumping out of the market, right? Then we move ahead to Wednesday with services PMI as well, non-manufacturing prices, non-manufacturing employment, global composed PMI, and as well the Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Barr speaks. All of these in a short-term frame of 15 minutes, all right? So it's gonna be 1:45 in the morning to 2 a.m. in the morning for US. All right, so lots of volatility from US dollar as well. Following up on Wednesday morning in Australia, we're going to have the retail sales and GDP for Australia, all right, year over year and quarter over quarter, and retail sales month over month. Construction PMI, printing forecast statement on UK at 8:30 p.m. On Thursday, it's going to be a very impactful day for Canadian dollar. We're going to have the rate statement from the Bank of Canada. Just, briefly touching basing on here, they are expecting a 5%, so basically no changes, 0 base points of hiking there. So basically no changes. What's going to be most important will be the follow-up Bank of Canada rate statement at 1:45 a.m. So it's going to be rate decision at 1:45, and then just follow-up. We're going to have the rate statement. Very important here. What are they looking forward? What are their projections for inflation? What are the projections for unemployment? What are they looking at? What are the data they're looking at? All right. So make sure these 4 things that I've just mentioned right now is the ones that you're going to be looking at. In my opinion, most probably it will be a neutral to dovish approach. Okay, oil prices have been in a sustainable 77 to $80 prices, so not much changing for Canada. Now, going ahead, we're going to have as well on Thursday a few FOMC speakers, and then in the morning we're going to have imports and exports, trade balance and home loans for Australia at 11:30, all in once. We're going to have imports from China as well as Spanish 10-year obligation auction and mortgage rate on UK more towards the evening. And then on Friday, the big day comes in. We're going to still have ECB interest rate decision, so very important. We're going to have the monetary policy statement, as well imports, exports again for US. We're going to have initial jobless claims, continued jobless claim, all of those other news for US, and we're going to have NFP. All right, so it's going to be packed of data. We still have GDP for Europe as well. It's going to be packed of data. We still have Europe and we still have Canada this week for interest rates. Both of them, I'm expecting a pause, nothing less, nothing more, as well as a neutral to hawkish approach on the ECB and a neutral to dovish approach on the Canada, the Bank of Canada. All right. So this is it from me today. Hope I helped you guys to sort it out what's going to be happening this week and what's the day is going to be more volatile. Most probably Tuesday and Thursday and Friday will be the most volatility days. So Monday and Wednesday will be the calm days. So be ready, put your seatbelts in, and as I told you, lots of opportunity happening in there. Just don't forget, we still have my webinar Tuesday and Thursday, Tuesday 6 to 7 p.m. and Thursday 8 to 9 p.m. on Sydney time. So register for that, be ready already, and I see you in there. All right, so hopefully everyone can have an awesome week ahead. If you have any questions, please put down below in the comments, and I will make possible and impossible to come here and answer you guys. I see you in the next video.